Hello everyone, welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc. and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc. and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc. and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels, so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel, as you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, and things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day. How goes the family? How goes it? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great and exceptional day. Well, evening because it's night time. But anyways, this is really going to be a rant tonight. Once again, R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. I don't care. I'm going to start this off with I don't care whether you like somebody, agree with somebody. Excuse me. The death of someone, unless my mindset is this, the death of someone is never anything to crack jokes about, to say good riddance or anything, unless somebody physically did something to you. And when I say, like, I'm saying they raped somebody in your family, they killed somebody in your family, they physically assaulted somebody in your family. That's when the celebrating the death of somebody, in my personal opinion, is called for. For a lot of people, it's never called for, and I understand that. But just because somebody had a platform and you disagreed with that platform doesn't mean you should wish for anybody's death. You know what I mean? Like, great example. The one idiot that was a part of the um resurrection or whatever insurrection that you want to call back on Capitol Hill and whatnot last year. Um, when they stormed the Capitol in Washington D.C., there was one lady that actually had to get shot and killed. She got shot in the head and whatnot, and they were told, "Hey, if you come through here, we're going to shoot to kill." And whatnot. They were lucky, to me, my personal opinion, they were lucky they were even able to get into the house, the House of Congress and whatnot, untouched and whatnot, with no bullets or anything of that nature. Whether you agree with somebody or not, breaking the law is breaking the law. But I still don't wish anybody's death or anything of that nature. Now, with that being said, um, I did not celebrate her death, even though I thought the woman, what she was doing was completely stupid. I still don't celebrate the death of anybody, period, because she didn't do anything physically to harm me. So I'm not going to celebrate just because I disagree with somebody's opinions and viewpoints and things of that nature. I'm not going to celebrate death. I, to be honest with you, I'm sickened and appalled by anybody who's celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels. That's just what it is. But hey, it's America. You got the freedom of choice to do what you're going to do, and it is what it is on that aspect. But I am going to say this, um, to the nice guys out there, because I used to be, quote unquote, I'm still somewhat in that category, but not as much as I used to be back when I was younger, in my late teens and early 20s and whatnot. Because this rant tonight is basically about the nice guys. Will Smith, Kanye West. You know, a lot of people that fall into that category, because we live in a time frame where we live in the bow down culture of men, and because we live in the bow down culture of men, basically meaning, because whether people want to believe it or not, everything I said this a couple days ago, and I'll say this till the day I die. Everything in America is a business. Having kids, getting married, being in a relationship, money is being spent. Unless you're homeless, now, I'm not talking about homeless people, but even then, they got to come up on some money so that they can eat and get some food and have some clothing or something to that effect. They can't just keep going to drives and food shelters. Eventually, stuff like that, dries up. That's why people sit on the corner begging for money and whatnot. But anyways, my point is that eventually nice guys finish last, but eventually nice guys flip out. Okay, nice guys flip out. And we've seen that with Will Smith. We've seen that with Kanye West. Um, we've seen that on a multitude of levels. I mean, heck, you even see Dwayne Wade, who's married to Gabrielle Union and whatnot. The nice guys who, the pushovers, unfortunately. And hey, I've been guilty of this myself when it comes to relationships, being the pushover. Now I'm considered the, quote unquote, mean guy or the a-hole or the jerk because I don't take any nonsense or whatnot. The kind of stuff I'll take from a female now is way less compared to what it was when I was younger and whatnot, because of, you go through life experiences, you develop opinions, and you go from there. Now, does that necessarily mean that I need to be a jerk and mean everybody? No, not unless it's called for, unless it's warranted and whatnot. And me personally, I'm 39 years old. I don't really have much respect for men in my age group between 30 and up that are the simps and the pushovers and that deal with a lot of negativity nonsense just so that they can live a miserable lifestyle and make their significant other happy. There's a lot of guys that fall in that category. There's a lot of women that I'm not going to be so one-sided. I actually wish I could have a panel tonight, but we're trying to get people to come on and talk about things. It's a lot. I give it up to the podcasters that can do it, to the YouTubers that do it, because it can be a very big pain in the butt at times. But I will say with all sincerity, family, that um, a lot of times you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's just like women when they say, hey, a man can't have his cake and eat it too, meaning, hey, if he's going to be with you, unless it's consensual, you expect them to be, faithful, and obviously vice versa. I respect that, and hey, I'm all about that. Real talk. I'm not going to downplay that, and I'm not trying to follow a lot of what people are doing because now everybody's trying to be the next Kevin Samuels. I'm not an imaging. I'm not an imaging consultant. I'm not a relationship consultant. I'm not doing that. I'm just giving my perspective in regards to I've seen things that have happened on various levels, and I'm just giving my opinion. You know, because you have your women that go all out of the way to try to appease the men, and I give them credit for that. And you have men that go out of the way to appease the women. And a lot of times, you have a lot of men and women who have the Jada Pinkett and Gabrielle Union mindset. That's just what it is. Just gonna keep it honest with you. They have the Gabrielle Union and the Jada Pinkett mindset, the Vivica Fox mindset. They have the Lisa Ray mindset where um, they're bitter, they're bratty, and this goes for men too. Um, overly narcissistic, overly narcissistic. I can say that with there's a documentary out. I didn't forgot the name of it, but there's a documentary out about a guy who ran a fertility clinic for basically a sperm clinic and whatnot. Because for men who had a low sperm count, um, you know, they went to a clinic to drop their sperm off, and this doctor was supposed to obviously inject that sperm to ensure that they could impregnate their wives and whatnot, or their significant other, however you want to word it. But there's this doctor, he was trying to increase his whole, he's a God fearing man. He's a senior elder in the church. I'm not knocking you if that's what you are, but his mindset was he wanted to be able to increase the white race. Okay. And so he impregnated up to, in counting, that's not 100% sure if that's actually the number in itself, but he impregnated up to 97 people. Okay, and this was in actually in Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, um, and it was crazy, impregnated. Sorry, I'm just getting my research done and all that good stuff. But yeah, this was crazy. 97 women. Okay, 97 women in Indianapolis, Indiana, and this guy, in a sense, he raped these women, but without doing it from a violent standpoint. Indiana. There it is. Yeah, so it's actually a series on Netflix called Our Father, Netflix film. So check it out. All right, because it was a fertility doctor who used his own sperm to impregnate women, up to 97 of them, and whatnot. And his whole thing was, to keep the white race going because there's been. I'm not trying to get all into the racism aspect, but I've been hearing for years now that the number of Caucasians have been going down in the United States of America. Um, and not even from just an abortion standpoint, but just from a what is the word? It escapes me for some odd reason now. But basically, the amount of babies being born in Caucasian community levels have dropped. A lot of rural communities in America are actually shrinking at a very big rate, very big rate, very big rate. Because there's nothing happening there. A lot of people, and regardless of the race, it's like any race. If they're in America, you're in a land of opportunity. So if you're living in a city or a small town where nothing's happening, you're going to leave that small town. I grew up in the DMV area, so I've met people from, they could be from Wyoming, they could be from the backwoods of Mississippi, they could be from the Dakotas, the Carolinas, Michigan, Illinois. I've met people from all over the United States of America that came to the DMV area for a specific reason. They wanted to go live in a place where there's a good job market. Just makes sense, you know. So, but yeah, this gentleman, and he's actually walking free to this day. That's the crazy thing, you know, when you think about it. This gentleman is walking free to this day. Um, and I'm going to read the article about the Netflix, but check it out. It's called Our Father. Years ago, several Indiana residents found out that their father, who some had believed to be an anonymous sperm donor or the man who had raised them, was actually their mother's doctor, Donald Klein. Donald Klein, once a well respected fertility doctor in Indianapolis, Indiana, used his own sperm to inseminate patients without their knowledge for years. Some became pregnant and unknowingly had Klein's biological children. The children will soon tell the story in their own words in a Netflix documentary film, Our Father, coming to the streaming service by May 11th. So it came out today. Indianapolis Wonder Road Festival. Here's who will play. No, that's something else. Anyways, a top fertility doctor had a sickening secret. He was using his own sperm. The Netflix synopsis reads: decades later, his children band together to pursue justice. Klein's secret was discovered in 2014 when Jacob Ballard took a DNA test. Ballard, who had expected to have one or two donor half siblings, discovered seven other half siblings, and the story grew more complicated from there. So, and that's the crazy thing, because just think about, because this all happened within a 20-mile radius of Indianapolis, Indiana. So think about, unfortunately, maybe some of these children, you know, because they're all boys and girls. Hopefully, they did not have any relations with one another, you know, because that's incest at the end of the day. This is crazy when you think about it. You know what I mean? But um, and I feel bad for anybody who's involved in it. I'm not making a mockery of anything, because they were basically duped into thinking that, hey, you know, um, their father was XYZ, and their father actually happens to be the doctor that administered the sperm into their mothers. So that is just something to think about. But really tonight, I know I'm going off base here. But when you think about the Kanye West and the Will Smiths, the Wayne Wades, I always say make money moves or live bro like a fool. But I'm really going to say that these are I choose the celebrities not just because it's trendy. I choose to talk about the celebrities for one specific reason. These are men who have way more money than your average male, but they seem to be very unhappy a lot of times. And because of the decision, and these guys are great examples of why a lot of men don't want to get married in 2022. We're going to be real about it. These guys are real. I'm not saying all women are bad. I'm not saying all men are bad. So do not take my words. I'm not gonna. That's easy to just say all women suck. That's easy to say all women are bad. All women are bad. It's easy to say all men are bad. You know, that's the easy route. No, that's black and white, and the world is very, very, very gray. Okay. Um, but I will say that I see why a lot of people are hesitant to have a family, because it's hard to know if you're even with the right person. Because even if you're with the right person, a man or a woman could snap. I've met many women who are very successful. They have great careers, great businesses, they're great mothers. I'm not knocking. That's what I'm not just going to talk about the men. And the husband was in that same category. Next thing you know, something flipped, something switched. Next thing you know, they're paying alimony, or they're looking for their husband because he stole the kids and whatnot and went on the run, and they don't know where the heck he went. Some instances, people will go to a foreign country where they know that extradition is darn near impossible, and they know that getting their family back is going to be not going to happen. So that's something to just take into consideration, family. But no one's saying a guy, the nice guy, a man has to be a jerk towards females. No one's saying that at all, because I don't advocate that whatsoever. But a man needs to act like he has a pair in his life, because too many act like they don't. You know, and for a lot, or when they get married, they act like they don't, and then they end up miserable. And I work with a guy who's probably the most miserable individual with a family, and who acts like a 15-year-old who can't wait to get away from his kids and can't wait to get away from his wife. And I asked him 1,000 times, "Well, why did you have them?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just venting." I said, "No, you mean that? Stop playing. You know, you don't you dread going home. You know, you dread being around your kids, but you had them. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid." I actually feel bad for the kids. I don't feel bad for the wife because that's another story for another day. But I feel bad for the kids because they have to deal with that mentality from their father and whatnot. Because I remember in one of his situations, and I don't feel bad for him either, because you build your own. You're supposed to get to a certain age in life where you build your own house. You know that old saying, you made your bed, you lie in it, right? But I remember because he's the breadwinner in the family. His wife doesn't work because she doesn't want to work. It's not because she can't work, but she doesn't want to. And living in the DMV when your money ain't right and you're not work and you have multiple streams of income and multiple incomes coming into the household, you're putting yourself in a very precarious situation. I'll put it like that, economically. But the fact that his wife was sending his money, I know when you're married, it's supposed to be our money, but my mindset is when you bringing the money home, it's your money. But and as a family, they're struggling already. But when he told me that his significant other was sending hundreds of dollars every couple of months to a friend in another part of the country where they're barely getting by as is, he almost flipped out. And me, I would have flipped out because if anything I'm a jerk about in this life, it's money. All right. I can't be with somebody that's not saving money and not investing money and trying to increase their income and increase their credit because I'm doing the same thing. I can't even respect anybody that's not on that economic level. Doesn't make you rich. It just makes you, being in today's world, it just makes you basic. But a lot of people don't see it like that. Because a lot of people still stuck in this. It's okay to be paycheck to paycheck because my man will take care of me. And yeah, as a man, you're supposed to be able to take care of it. You're not really supposed to worry about what your woman is making. I definitely agree with that and whatnot. But you can't be with no bum either, because you can't be with somebody that doesn't spark your intellectual curiosity at the same time. I remember a friend of mine, real nice person. She's down in Texas, Houston, Texas, and she would always end up with the guy who she found attractive, but she was never with the guy who, from an intellectual standpoint, they didn't have anything in common. you know, and like a lot of times, and I'm not talking bad about my blue collar guys, because to be a blue collar worker, there's another level of intelligence completely. I've been around some blue collar guys that I've learned some things that it is insane. But she would always end up being with the blue collar guys that did not do any reading. Like I've been around blue collar guys, they keep a book with them. They listen to podcasts on a regular basis, so they can hold down an intellectual conversation outside of what they do on a regular basis, outside of you know building houses, outside of working on cars. The guy that fixed my car, he listens to what is it, Dr. Claude Anderson and Shakespeare on a regular basis when he's fixing his car. Mixture of that and music on every day. So he's got intelligence coming out the yin yang. All right. So that's why I said I'm not knocking the blue collar brothers, but this specific one, he just was a guy that liked to go to work, get drunk, smoke his weed, and that was it. So, and she's a bookworm, and very much a bookworm, and it comes into I guess you could call it those seductive books. Forgot the name of that book. 50 Shades of Grey, books like that. So her and this guy never worked out because her friends are like that. They're educated people. They're teachers. She works. I believe she works in the correction system, or probation system or whatnot. So I get where she's at in life from a mental standpoint. But she didn't. She wanted the bad guys in the beginning, and as she got older, she's like, I need to settle down with a guy that's decent and not try to run game on him and run him over. So I definitely respect that, because if you even look at um, a Jada Pinkett and a Kim Kardashian, because you see who Kim Kardashian is with now compared to who she was with, a billionaire. Now she's with a square now that she has to basically take care of economically. But I remember when I made the video about Kevin Samuels. If you look at a Jada Pinkett, if she gets the divorce, no other man that's worth the amount of money that Will Smith is worth is going to want to deal with her. That's just not what it is. I guarantee whoever she might get half his money, but wherever she ends up being, she's going to be taking care of some Pookie and Ray Ray. That's just what it is. And that's going to be the same thing with Gabrielle Union, and et cetera and so forth. They're going to end up looking like Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray because yeah, they had their time back in the day, but nobody's going to deal with that nonsense, you know. And moral of the story is, at the end of the day, what I'm really getting at, family, is don't crap on the nice guys, especially the nice guys that has their stuff together. You know, we live in a time frame where you have a lot of, the quote unquote geeks and the nerds who are millionaires and billionaires right now. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. But don't crap on them because they have more options up until they get into the ages of the 50s and whatnot. And even then some, because heck, you got Al Pacino, who's 80 years old, I believe, right now. He got himself a 20-something year old. So, don't dog the nice guys. Don't treat them like crap because, and I know, because I know enough females and enough dudes who had good riders with them and whatnot. Men that had good women and they dogged them. Women who had good men and they dogged them. Women who had good men coming after them, but they wanted the bad guy. They had a bunch of kids by the bad guy. It's like you go, if you ever seen the movie Scarface, where Al Pacino's talking about, you want to, either yeah, tomorrow I'm the bad guy, but tomorrow I'll be the good guy. But everybody loves the bad guy. I remember he walked out of the restaurant scene. He's like, "Hey, take a look at this bad guy, because you'll never see a bad guy like this ever again." But everybody loves the bad guy, and that's true, But then my mindset is this: don't get upset when the bad guy's not delivering all the things that you want. He might bring you excitement, but can he bring you security? Will he be there for your kids? Will he be there for you? Is he going to be in a situation where he's trying to help uplift you and not just get into your pants? These are things to take into consideration, family. So that's all I got for tonight. You know, whatever your status is, your high value male, low value male, high value woman, low value woman. You gotta take things in. Everybody's situation is different, so there's never ever one blank slate. But I will say is that everything is a business, everything is an economic decision. And I take this from Jason Black. Power. That's why I like listening to his program on the business. He's about power dynamics, and you got to be about that. Not having the power to the point where you're going to dog somebody, but having power to the point where you keep yourself in a position to have options and whatnot. All right. Now, do you want to have options for the rest of your life and whatnot? No, I'm not saying that. But you put yourself in a position where you don't remain physically vulnerable, mentally vulnerable, and definitely one of the most important, financially vulnerable. That goes to the men and women out there. So, and have some dignity and respect at the same time. Because I think that's one of the saddest things that's been shown with this Kevin Samuels thing. Like, nobody likes to have class and dignity anymore, and I think that's a shame. Like, I wore in respect of Kevin Samuels, I wore a suit, which I can't believe how long it's been. Actually, the suit made me look way different. It's been so long since I've been in the suit and whatnot, but it felt good because it's like, one thing I can respect about my grandparents' generation, my parents' generation, my grandparents and great grandparents' generation is because a lot came from nothing. They believed in having dignity and respect in how they looked and how they approach things in life. Now, does that mean everybody in a suit and a dress is 100% clean? No, but looking like you took a shower, looking like you washed your clothes, because and let me know in the comments section. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We live in an era on social media where people will post pictures and videos of looking like they just rolled out of bed, looking like blah, like something you would not even like want to even look at in the morning, or any time of the day. Not even just the first thing in the morning, any time of the day. Okay, so having people who got some dignity and respect and some class, I got to give respect to them because that is one thing that is missing tremendously in 2022, tremendously in 2022, is having some dignity and having some respect and having some class. All right. So on that note, family, do the great thing for things. Like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Don't forget to check out WEBULL, Stash, Acorns, Crypto.com, Coinbase. You have the opportunity to make some money, especially With Webull, you make up to $900 worth of free stock once you sign up and put a penny in your account. Acorns, you'll be able to not only have a index fund account with your stock market and an individual retirement account, IRA. It's known as Acorn later, but you have the opportunity to connect your debit card, where if you spend $10.50, it'll round it up to $11. That extra money will get invested. So every time you swipe your card, you get invested. Just like you got the BlockFi card now, where a credit card, where every time you spend on it, spend on the credit card and whatnot, you're earning cryptocurrency. So, there's pros and cons to everything. And my mindset is the best way to make money moves is not just to have multiple streams of income, but we all eventually have to spend our money. But what are we getting in return for spending our money? That's a good question. All right. On that note, family, I'm out. Another late night. This time next week, I will be touching down in Atlanta. So my ATL family, show me some love. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. Going to be doing some business connections and definitely going to be doing some tourist stuff. So it's been a minute since I've been to Atlanta. It's been 9 years. So it's time for me to go back. And like I always say, family, make money moves or you're going to live grow like a fool. And stay true to yourself. That's another thing to remember. Life is too short, man. And whatever relationship you're meant to be in it. If you're meant to be alone for a minute, be alone. Because one thing I'm going to say, regardless of your financial status or your physical status or your mental health status, if you're not excited when you wake up in the morning, then you got to reevaluate your life. If you're not excited about who you're with every day, you got to reevaluate the relationship. That's real talk. Okay, I can't put it any other way on that one. Because you don't want to end up like a Will Smith and a Kanye West, having all the money and the power in the world and still being the most miserable person on the planet. Is it worth it? That's the question. It's an easy way to have a mental breakdown. And I'm not saying this out of throwing shade to anybody, but I'm saying this out of concern. Because I want to see people like that win. They worked hard to come from where they came from. Chicago, Philadelphia, some of the roughest cities in America, not even America, but the world. And look where they're at today. They could all be taken away because of a crazy significant other or a bad choice in a significant other. Just my opinion. On that note, family, I'm out.